Hey guys, I am back with another video, and for today I'm going to show you guys how to make these cute little custom cupcake toppers with your Cricut. These will definitely be a hit at your next party or a good little side hustle. Everything I use in this video, I will be linking it down in the description below. Alright guys, let's get started. I'm going to be using Cricut Design Space to edit my picture. So I'm going to go on New Project, and then I'm going to go down to Upload and select the picture that I'm going to use. We're going to select Complex for the image type, and this is going to give us the full vibrant color. Next, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so we can get a better view. Next, I'm going to use the crop feature. So we're going to crop as close to the face as possible. Next, once we have our image cropped, we're going to be removing the background. There is an automatic background remover, but if you don't have the paid subscription, you're going to have to do it manually. So we're going to use the select tool, and on the color tolerance, we're going to move it to 20. And then we're just going to start clicking around to remove big chunks of the background. And then after, we're going to go in with the little eraser tool to clean up the edges. There is different ways to remove the background. There's different apps that are free, but for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to do it on the Cricut. So like I said, first you're gonna use the select one and then start clicking around for the big chunks. And after, we're gonna go in with the eraser and just slowly and carefully go around the edges of the face just to smooth it up a little bit. And if you mess up a little bit, don't worry, you can click that little back button on the top left and it's just going to replace what you just erased. And once we have our cute little face finished, we're going to click Preview Cut Image, and we're just going to see if we got all the little pieces removed, and it looks like we did. So then now we're going to hit Apply and Continue at the bottom. Next, we're going to select it as a Print Then Cut image. We're going to upload, and then we are going to add it to the canvas. Once we got our edited little face on the canvas, we're going to be putting the party hat on. We're going to click on Shapes on the left side, and we're going to go down to the bottom, and it's going to say Search for More. We click on that, and then we are going to type in Party Hats on the search bar. Next, we're going to select the little party hat that we like. I like this little solid one because we're going to fill it in with the pattern. So we just select it, and then we're going to click Add to Canvas. Once we have it on our canvas, we are going to resize it to fit his little head. And since these are cupcake toppers, I don't want it to be too tall and skinny. So we're just going to shrink it down a little bit from the top so it can be the right size. Typically, cupcake toppers are usually like around 2.5 inches tall, so this is like the size that we're going for. Next, we're going to fill in the pattern for the little hat. So on the operation, we want to make sure it's a print then cut, and then when you click the color, and then on the print type, you're going to click pattern. So this is going to give you a whole section with different color patterns. So then you're going to go on filter, and then I selected the black and the gray, like the gradient color, and this is where my polka dot one is. So I'm going to select the polka dot color, and then I'm going to go down to edit pattern so we can adjust the size. So I want the spots a little bit bigger, so the scale that I like is 100. So we're going to adjust it to that size, and then we are going to click the X to close it off. Next, on the side, we're going to click on Images, and we are going to type in Happy Face, and this is the face that we're going to use for the little center of the party hat. So you're just going to find the one that you like, you're going to click it and then add it to the canvas. Next, we're going to resize it to make it smaller because we're going to put it in the center of the party hat. Before we put it on our party hat, we're gonna change the color of the face. So we're gonna make a duplicate, and then we're gonna go down to contour. I'm gonna bring it down so you guys can see what I'm doing. So we're gonna hit the contour, and we are going to hide all the contours. And this is gonna make it the same size circle as a happy face. So the black part, we are going to change to the yellow color. And then we're gonna bring that happy face next to it. We're gonna arrange it and we are going to bring it to the front. And then we are going to highlight both of them. We're gonna align them to the center. And once we do that, we're going to group it together. That way they don't move. Once we have it grouped, we're going to bring it to our party hat and we're just going to align it where we want it to be. Next, we're going to create an offset. So we're going to highlight the face and the party hat only, and we're going to bring it down to 0.040. That's the size that I like the offset to be. So we're going to have that size and we are going to select apply. And here's how the offset looks. It just creates like a little background of the image. It's personal preference. I like the offset, some people don't. So if you don't like it, you don't have to put the offset on it. Next, what we're gonna do is highlight everything and we are gonna click flatten. So when you do print and cut, you wanna make sure you flatten it so it flattens down all the layers so it prints and cuts as one. So next we're gonna go on shapes and we're gonna select the square. We're gonna make the print then cut paper size. So we're gonna size it to a 6.75 by a 9.25. So doing it this way, make sure that all your little faces are gonna be right where you want it to be. So you could fit more on the page doing it by this way, rather than if you do a bunch of duplicates and then you hit make it, it's just gonna place the little faces wherever it wants to, and sometimes it doesn't take up the whole sheet of paper. So doing it this way, definitely it fits better. So I'm making rows of 4. So we just want to place them as close as possible, but not too close because remember, they're going to be cutting. So give them a little tiny room. And I like to make the first row and then I bring down the little back template a little bit. And then I align them vertically. That way they're in a straight line. After I do that, I highlight all of my little faces and then I group them together. That way when I make more rows, they stay together. Next, I'm gonna click my row and then make 2 more duplicates because we're gonna be making 3 rows of these. So I'm gonna put one at the top, the middle, and at the bottom. Next, after we got our rows placed, we're gonna go down on the right side and we're going to hide the square because we don't want to cut that. We were just using it as a template. So next we're gonna highlight everything and then we're going to attach it. So this is gonna put everything in one page and cut in one page. We wanna make sure our printer is loaded with cardstock, so then we're gonna hit make it. So if you did all your steps right, this is how it's gonna look like. All of your little faces all in one page. That black outline is not going to be there, it's just there as a little reference. So we have them all in our corners. So next we're going to send to the printer. So we're going to hit that and then we're going to make sure that the add bleed is on, and then we're going to use the system dialog. That way we print with the highest quality. I have an Epson printer, it's the Epson 3750, so yours might look different, but I like to go down to presentation matte paper, and on quality I change it to high. That way we get the best print as possible. And then we hit print and we watch for it to print on the printer. Also remember, we are using cardstock paper, not regular paper. Cardstock is a little bit more thicker. I'll link it down in the description below, the cardstock paper that I'm using. Next, we're gonna grab our cutting mat and we're going to align it perfect. It needs to be perfect, that way you get the perfect print and cut. Next, I like to use my rubber brayer roller instead of using my hands because sometimes my hands are oily and I don't want to get oil on the paper. So this just makes sure that the paper is attached onto the mat really good. Next, we're going to go back on our Cricut design space and we're going to select the material to light cardstock, 65 pounds. So even though our cardstock is 90 pounds, this setting still worked perfectly. Next, I just hit start on my Cricut Maker 3 and I just let it do its magic. So it reads the registration lines and then it starts cutting perfectly. So you want to make sure your Cricut is in a well-lit area, that way it could recognize and cut right. So once I pulled off the excess cardstock, it peeled off perfectly. And then to get these little guys off of the mat, I simply bend the mat just a little bit and then I just pull the face off. Let me show you what not to do. You don't want to pull it without bending the mat, just pull it straight up like that because it's gonna curl. So don't do that. Make sure you bend your mat a little bit and just pull it straight towards you. Another way you guys can do this is like put it at the edge of the table. That way it bends a little bit, or you could flip your mat upside down and just pull them out like that. There's a couple different techniques, but just don't pull it straight back up and curl your paper. So next we're going to be attaching these 4-inch Lollipop Sticks to our little topper. We are simply just going to flip over our little face, and with the hot glue gun, make a line about halfway through the topper, and then just apply the stick on it. So you want to hold it for a couple seconds and it dries very quick. So with that, and you're done. So you just want to go ahead and do the same thing to the rest of the toppers. And here is the finished look. Look how adorable these little toppers came out. His face is just so adorable. So tell me in the comments below if you're going to be trying these out. Also, if you watched until the end, thank you so much. Show me by putting a smiley face in the comments down below. Thank you so much. And if you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button. I'll be back next week for another video. Bye!